So this is Justin for the Mtgnoob doing an 8-4 draft for Gate Crash. I like this format a lot since I do pretty well at it so far. This pack is kind of interesting. Consuming Aberration is rare, but I'm not sure if I want to go down Demir or commit myself to it this early. Other good cards in the pack are List of Crassus, Denrova Horror, Daring Skyjack, and Halberdiers. Now I'd like to take either Skyjack or Halberdiers, but the problem with that is that I am basically giving my opponent whatever one I don't take, which is probably going to put them on Boros. I think, I could take the Crassus and not pass anything really Simic other than the Oculus, but I think I'm just going to take the Skyjack here because it keeps me the most open. So let's go ahead and take that and see where it leads us. That kind of sucks because we get a Cloudfin Raptor the next pack. And there are no real good Boros options here. So we could take a Devour Flesh and we could stay kind of Orzhov. Or we could take a Cloudfin Raptor. I think we're going to take the Raptor here just because it keeps us the most open, and I don't really like taking Devour Flesh this early, so that's a second Skyjack. So yeah, we have two options here. We can either take the other Skyjack and kind of hedge more towards Orzhov and Boros, or we can take the Frilled Oculus and kind of, maybe hedge towards Simic. I traditionally like playing Orzhov or Boros much more than Simic, though I will play it if I have to. So I'm going to take the other Skyjack here. Plus, third pick, that means that it could be open. And I'm going to stick with the Boros Elite just because, and it's the theme so far, just stay open. And I think now's the point where we can hide that Raptor. So I think the choices here are between Devour Flesh, Armored Transport, and Syndicate Enforcer. I think just with the theme of what we're trying to do so far, it's going to be between either Enforcer or Transport. Even though I'm passing a lot of black, I think I'm going to take the Transport here. Just because it really is what we want to be doing. And we get kind of rewarded. I mean, that's a pretty late Cinder Elemental, and there really is nothing else very good with this. So, the Hold the Gates is pretty good, but you really have to kind of dedicate a large portion of your land base to working with it, which means picking Guild Gates ahead of certain other cards you might not want to. So we'll just take the Cinder Elemental here and get rewarded with a very late Warmind Infantry. So this is looking pretty good so far. I do think Boros is fairly open here. That's all Simic, so it looks like a Simic's fairly open too, but I'll just take the Keyrune. I don't know if I'm going to play it, but we can maybe splash Shadow Slice. I wouldn't really want to do it, but I don't see any other options here, and I'm not going to cut the Crassus. We could play Shielded Passage, so I'll go ahead and take that. We had a really good first 6 or 7, but now it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But that's a really late Ricer's Charge, and that is exactly where we want to be. So that was a really good pickup. So we'll go ahead and cut. Visitation doesn't really matter. I don't think anyone plays it. Get rid of a Delusions. So our first pack is not too bad so far. We might end up playing the Shadow Slice, but I doubt it. Sure, we can give a Bioshift to the person to our left. And get a Persistent Blast. So we're looking pretty good so far. I think the person to our left probably got put in either Orzhov or Simic. So I mean, here, for what we're kind of trying to do, I think Halberdiers is our best choice. We need to kind of load up on the 2-drops a little bit, and I don't see anything else here that looks that good for what we're trying to do. Getting some sort of removal might be pretty nice if we manage to pick it up. So this is an interesting choice here. We can either pick up a Bomber Core at a 2-drop, or we can pick up War Mine Infantry, or even a Court Street Denizen. Either one of those, or any one of those three, is kind of what we want to be doing. I don't think we're going to be playing the Key Rune. I'm going to hide that for now. So just all things being equal, I think we're going to pick up the infantry here. So this one's kind of tricky. We can either choose between an Assault Griffin or a Knight of Obligation. I think given that we're trying to rush in as much damage as fast as we can, I mean Hellraiser Goblin is a card too, but I don't like it at all. I think we're going to take Assault Griffin here and be happy about it. So we have a couple different choices now. I don't think Towering Thunderfist is what we want to be doing, which means that we can either play Foundry Denizen or we can pick up a Pit Fight. Given that the problem is that all of our creatures except for a pair of War Mine Infantries are fairly fragile to Pit Fight right now. But that might change in the future, and I don't think I can justify taking a Foundry Street Denizen over it, so we'll take this and see what happens. We might not play it. Massive Raid, though, is something we would like to be doing, so we will take that. So we are getting kind of cut on our colors in the other direction, which is kind of unfortunate. I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and take a Thunderfist here, even though it's kind of expensive. So this is kind of interesting. We can either pick up another Armored Transport, or we can pick up a Guildgate. Given that we already have one transport, I think I'm tempted to pick up a Guildgate here, just to kind of, because we do have a 2-red card and we have a 2-white card at the 3 slot. Kind of balances out stuff for us a little bit. Plus it's another creature that's weak to Pit Fight, so I think we're ahead enough right now on what we're playing for our deck that I can justify picking up a Guildgate. And just in case we might want to splash something, I'll go ahead and take the Prism. Debtor's Pulpit is not a bad card. It's kind of like their like a permanent removal spell, whatever their best creature happens to be. I'll pick it up. It's not something we really want to be doing with the kind of deck we're playing, but what are you gonna do? So I'll go ahead and cut an Executioner's Swing here, just because I don't want. Less removal the better. And then we'll also cut Snapjaw. Nothing here we want to be playing. I don't want to be playing against either one of these really, but probably the Corpse Blockade. So we really kind of got cut near the end of that pack, and that was fairly unfortunate. So hopefully our last pack is maybe looking a little bit better than that last one did. Chances are we won't be playing Shadow Slice. I'll go ahead and hide it for now. Oh, that's nice. So we go ahead and pick up a Boros Reckoner here, which is in our colors, and it's also worth a fair amount of tickets. Let's go ahead and check out how many. My guess is like 5 or 6. Or maybe 4, I don't know. Either way, it's good for our deck, so we will be taking it. So we have a couple different options here. I think it's going to come down to either Madcap Skills or Viashino Shanktail. And right now I'm kind of leaning towards Madcap Skills, even though our creature count is a little bit low right now, which makes me a little bit worried. But that's a tough one. So Madcap Skills lets us get in a ton of early damage. Or we can play Shanktail, which is probably going to be used as a trick more than a creature, and if it comes down to just 2 tricks, I'd rather have the madcap skills, so I'm going to go ahead and take that. This is a pretty easy bomber core. I don't like Scorchwalker that much, and 2-drops are the key in this format. And that is a really late Wojak Halberdiers. I mean, we can take a Burning Tree Emissary too, but I just think Halberdiers is a much better card, so I'll just take that and be happy about it. So now here is between a Warmind Infantry and a Boros Elite. We already have one Boros Elite. I mean, they are decent in multiples, but I just think we'd rather have a Warmind Infantry here. We don't have a lot of white creatures. Even still, I think it's probably the Denizen here. This now we'll pick up another Assault Griffin and be plenty happy. I mean, the other option here is the Aerial Maneuver, which is a decent trick, but I mean, I really like Assault Griffin. I think it's a very strong card, and we need creatures. Plus, I mean, our removal is not terrible. I mean, we'll pick up another Gate here and be happy about it. I don't think I'd want to play more than 2 with since I'm playing Boros Elite, but 2 is probably fine. I'll pick up a Shattering Blow for the sideboard here. I think we're probably fine with what we have. We have 23 with Pit Fight. I mean, I think we'll probably end up going with this. Unless we can pick up maybe like a Aerial Maneuver, that'd be kind of nice. I don't think we're going to get anything else really, really nice at this point, just because it's so late in the draft. I will cut away the Thief and be happy about it. So I think our 23 looks pretty good. I mean, I don't think I'd like to be playing either the Pulpit or the Thunderfish. I think they'd be better served being like 2-drops or 3-drops, but and I don't really like playing the Pit Fight either, but gotta take what you gotta take. I mean, yeah, let's go ahead and cut the key room here. I really would like one more playable, but I think this is just the best we're gonna get. So I definitely think we'll be playing 17 lands. I have a tendency to like to play 18 lands sometimes in Gatecrash, especially when I'm playing Orzhov, just because they're so mana hungry. You know, I could play the Keyrune as my 23rd card. I wouldn't feel bad about that. So let's go ahead and just start bringing cards in. I do like playing Righteous Charge as a one-of. I think that it will be useful. I do like the fact that we got 3 Warmind Infantries. I think that's going to end up being fairly useful too. I don't like the fact, again, that we have a Debtor's Pulpit and a Towering Thunderfist. So this is 17 right now, and we got Reckoner with Halberdiers, Pit Fight, Armored Transport, and then Boros Keyroom for 23. I mean, that's not a bad 23. So what does that leave us with? That I mean, I think the weakest card in our deck right now is probably Pit Fight, just because our creatures end up being so fragile. So let's go ahead and pull out some of these. So that's what we're looking like right now. We only have maybe 2 real removal spells. I mean, 2.5, kind of. But I mean, I think this should be fine. I think we'll be able to do okay with this. Is there anything that I want to change? No, I think this is probably fine. I mean, I think the Reckoner will be fairly strong. So let's go ahead and bring in the Guild Gates and see what it says. So it just wants to split down the middle. I think that's probably right. We have one double red and one double white, and one card that can be either red or white. So, 14, 15, 16. Why is it... So let's do that. Puts us at 39, dude. Why is it doing that? Well, let's go ahead and... Really wants us to play 39 cards. That's fairly interesting. Let's go ahead and add another mountain, since this likely will want the... No, let's make it a plains, because I think we'll want that a little earlier. And then the red. So, I think that's good. We'll go ahead and run with this.